Okay, welcome back. Now we're gonna take a look at our final step, step number 3, pricing out our product, meaning just completing the recipe. So in step number 1, we created the recipe itself with the oils, and then we added the container parts. And we double checked our dilution ratio, and we also double checked that we have our blend not being phototoxic in terms of the lemon, because we added some lemon to the blend as well. So it's 1.43%, and the maximum topical suggested topical max is 2%. So we are well below it. Not well below, but we are below it. So we are fine here. And now on the right hand side in the recipe panel, we have a few options. So first of all, we can print our recipe once we are done. We can also download all of our recipes, and then we can obviously also delete our recipes. So you do have the possibility to manage your own recipes within the app here. I'm going to give this new recipe a name, and it's going to be Rollerball 10 milliliters calming, or calm me down. There we go. If we have already recipes in our system, we can select them here, make changes, and print them and create a save as well if we made any changes. So that part is available too, but we don't need this for a new recipe creation. So we just need to make sure we're going to add a new name. And then we will have categories here. If you want to use categories, we have those ones available already. Now, categories will be available as well in phase 2. That means you can add all your recipes to the categories right now. But in order to select then per category, let's say you want to see all your recipe in regards to pregnancy, you will be able to do this in our next release, phase 2, which is coming out next. So this one is not right now available, but I would already maybe start adding your recipes into certain categories. And again, let us know if you find something you would like to see, and give us some feedback back in our community section. Then I like to use this one here to add instructions, the instructions I'm giving to the client and or to the customer. So you can say here, use as often as needed, roll on your neck and shoulders, for example. And then you also can do a note here for yourself. Maybe you have a client and Paulo Santos and it's because I'm in Portugal. And then you can also say shipped on the 12th of June 2020, just for example. And then down here, I'm in Portugal, so I would have a sales tax of 23%. If you're in California or somewhere in the United States, you might have a sales tax of 8.5%. And now just watch down here, this price is changing. So right now, if you put 0 here, right now you have the recipe price with which is step 1. Then you have your container total price, which is step 2. And then you have the possibility of adding the sales tax. So right now the raw ingredients and the container is $4.29 in costs for the rollerball, 10 milliliter rollerball bottle. And if you have a markup factor of 3, so if your client is a direct sales client, you probably want to have a markup factor of at least 3, sometimes you might want to go up to 5, depending where you are in the world. I know that Portugal, the prices cannot be as high. Sometimes United States, you probably have a different price range. But if you then consider that you have to add sales tax, because that's what you have to pay as well, so you add 8.5% sales tax, and then you might need to add shipping to the customer. So the final price for the customer is going to be $26.22. Now that seems quite high for a rollerball bottle from my point of view. So maybe you can play around with a markup factor here and say, I'm going to go down to 4 or 3 or even only 2. And you see that the price down here changes as you go up and down with a markup factor. Well, let's leave it at 3.5. All right, so the blend is going to cost $19.25, and you can add this here as a note in case you want to print anything. Sold for $9.25. If you need to see it in euros, because that's where you are, by the way, this ... is going to be fixed. You can go down and have everything in euros as well available. So if you're satisfied with everything and you say this is great, it looks good, client Paulo Santos, yeah, looks all good. You click Create New, and recipe has been saved. And that was the price calculation of an entire recipe. Now you can print it, and you can also start over with a new recipe. You can also give it a different name and say Save As. And if you click Clear, you start from the beginning. Okay, so I hope this was really helpful for you. And if you have any questions, let us know. There's a comment section. Feel free to comment, and we will help you. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.